What's your favorite part of your body? Which part would you change if you could, and why? When you're ogling your crush, where does your gaze linger? Physical beauty is something of a paradox. Its magical totalizing effect seems to be created by a specific combination of distinct parts, and when we strive for beauty ourselves, we tend to focus our attention on those parts. Arched eyebrows, a narrow waist, a perfectly placed beauty mark, thick, curvy thighs. We may think these parts are just inherently mesmerizing, either due to our human biology or personal proclivity. But depending on the symbolic significance offered by culture, there can be very different ideals of beauty for the same part. Big breasts are beautiful and small breasts are beautiful. Square white teeth are beautiful and black pointy teeth are beautiful. Some strive for luscious pink soles on their wide bare feet, while others strive for tiny scrunched up feet bound in silk. But no matter the ideal, every culture engages in body modification practices to emphasize and enhance certain parts of the body. These can be minimally to maximally invasive, from painting and adorning the surface to molding, inserting, or cutting and even removing certain parts. This is because the shape, texture, and color of various body parts come to be imbued with a symbolic significance. So in Egyptian and Moroccan culture, the pinkish hue on the bottom of soft bare feet evokes the flush of good health, while in the Ming period in northern China, tiny bound feet represented an elite decorative femininity. In Modabi culture during the Garawal festival, where men compete for female attention, bright white teeth and the whites of the eyes stand out against a backdrop of colorful face paint to indicate virile elegance, while in Japan's Edo era, black teeth signal the allure of a wealthy older woman. Sometimes this symbolism can move beyond a specific part to encompass the entire body. For an example, let's take so-called skinny versus fat bodies, words that in and of themselves are already laden with meaning for many. Those of us familiar with mainstream white American culture and its media products, where you can never be too rich or too thin, are well acquainted with the cultural symbolism of a slender body. Here, race and class and gender mix in an often toxic cocktail where skinny means self-controlled, morally superior, affluent, physically vulnerable, and socially desirable. Skinny isn't just an American goal, though. In Japan, many women strive to be thin as part of a Hattushin ideal, which includes a 1:8 head-to-body length ratio. This ideal emerged in the post-World War II era as part of a health and beauty movement that was understood to propel the country out of its post-war defeat and its women into a new era of liberation. But thin is far from a universal aspiration. In certain cultures, a large, plump physique is considered the most beautiful. According to ethnographer Ann Becker, in Fiji, an ample body is beautiful because it is clearly well-loved. In Fiji, the body isn't seen as an individual entity to be wrested under individual control. Rather, there are a number of intimate family members and friends responsible for its care and well-being, including feeding. In this sociocentric society, losing weight, known as going thin, has been seen as sickness, indicating a social rupture and calling for group intervention. In many parts of Africa, a larger woman is considered a more desirable mate. In ethnic Nigeria, Mauritania, and elsewhere, young brides-to-be are secluded to plump up and learn the skills of a wife. For higher caste Azawad Arabs in Niger, fatness is considered a sexy sign of proper femininity and has been for centuries. Stretch marks, rolls, and folds are joyfully celebrated in conversation and in song. Bulk is so desirable in a wife that when girls lose their first milk teeth, they're purposefully fattened up by an elder. They're fed huge bowls of grain and milk throughout the day, whether or not they're hungry, sometimes under threat of punishment, until ideally they become, as anthropologist Rebecca Popenoe reports, voluptuously immobile. Based on her ethnographic research, Popenoe concludes that for the Azawad, fatness relates to understandings of gender and purity. First, women are intended above all to bear children. Fattening young girls up brings puberty on faster, thus hastening their initiation into the maternal role. Related to their reproductive roles, women and men are intended to be very distinct, and women's soft corpulence accentuates this difference. Lastly, the body's excretions, such as mucus and blood, are seen as impure. In the Azawad concept of the body, folds of fat help keep the body closed. The idea that beauty ideals are culturally relative seems to hold the potential for liberation. We all look different, so anyone might fit the ideal somewhere. But the attempts to physically manifest cultural symbols and beauty ideals, whether fat or thin, have ramifications for real bodies. bodies that grow restless or exhausted or become vulnerable to disease. The symbolic beauty of an ideal body can threaten the mental and physical health of the real bodies trying to achieve it, whether or not they ever succeed. This disparity is one of the major points in a feminist critique of the beauty concept, which we will address next.